Thank you for being here. Thank you for speaking with us. Can you just please identify who you are?
Yeah, my name is Gary Tarrant, and I'm the president of Mt Vernon Bangers, which is Mt Vernon semi-football team. And I'm just here because we need this field to be rebuilt so we can continue to have our games instead of having to go search for fields in Yonkers, New Rochelle, and the Bronx to play our home games instead of playing them home.
Now, you do know that there has been a restraining order against the work that has been done in the field, correct?
Yes, and I'm very upset with the councilmen that we voted into office to do an injunction to stop the field from being made. We voted y'all in to be councilmen for the people, and then y'all go in and try to take things away from the people. Everybody in Mt Vernon wants this field to be done, and y'all supposed to work for us, but y'all done ask us, what do we feel about the field being made? Y'all just want to money yourself to get an injunction, and we didn't agree to that. We want the field to be done. So if we work for the people, and the people saying the field needs to be done, then there was no reason to get an injunction.
Why do you think they are doing this?
I think it's political, which is my personal opinion is they don't want the mayor to have a legacy of doing something good. Because it seems like anytime the mayor tries to do something good, they always have an issue with what he's doing and what he's trying to implement into our community. So I feel it's personal against the mayor. It has nothing to do with politics. I think it's a personal beef with our mayor.
So are you suggesting or saying that this personal issue between mayor and council body, at the end of the day, the people of Mt Vernon are the one paying for this?
Exactly. And we're the ones going to lose the end of it, because at the end of the day, they get an injunction. The field has already been out of commission for 10 years, and the high school field is getting worked on now, which means there's no more fields in Mt Vernon to play football. Glover Field is not ours. We, as the Mt Vernons, cannot go to Glover Field and do anything because Glover Field is owned by Pelham. So now we have no other choice but to go outside of Mt Vernon to play football.
Any last words for the council body?
Yeah, put your personal feelings aside and work with the mayor, and let's all get this thing done.
Thank you, sir. My friend, nice to see you. Nice to see you here.
Always a pleasure.
Now, tell us how you feel about what's going on, about the restriction order against the construction. What's your position on that?
It's about obstructionism, and it's bad for the community.
So you think that the council body of Mt Vernon are actually blocking the mayor from doing something for the city?
For the community.
For the community.
Right, and it's wrong.
So who is the real enemy?
How can you tell them to get it out?
The obstructionist. Got the mayor want to do the right thing for the people. He cares.
So what is your message to them?
For the youth. We need it back for everybody in the community.
Thank you, sir. Coach Jamie, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing well.
Coach, we're here today at Memorial Field. I understand that today, this is not political. This is about the field. Am I right? Am I wrong?
It's wrong and you're right.
Right. Why am I wrong and why am I right?
Because it is about politics.
Explain.
It was always been about politics. For last, I can't even remember how long it's been. It's been quite a long time. I don't even want to guess. I'm going to say 15, 20 in my world.
Okay, and it's not about politics. Why?
If we could just do the right thing, it should not be about politics. It should not be about politics.
Coach, what is the right thing?
For the community to tell the leadership to stop wasting people's time, effort. We have done this, coaches in this community. We're more than just a coach. We try to make the kid a better person, a better student, then a better football player. It's not about the Razorbacks. There's other areas that we need to put forth. We fight. Kids fight, not administrations. For the last 2 administrations, they fumbled the ball back to football. They fumbled. This administration right now is trying to put the goal line back up. Opposition. There's been good and bad and ugly on both sides. We're just tired of the games.
Well, you know, Coach, I've been following this story for a while. And when you talk about the leadership, I see two things going: leadership, the mayor, and the council body. I see that the mayor is trying to get this going, so the community can have a place to go, kids can go and have a place to have fun. And I see the other side, the other part of the administration, in a way blocking. Do you understand both sides, or it's time to put the politics aside and get this going?
I don't understand both sides. I thought I did. Born and raised in the city for 60 years, understand how it works, knowing the good, bad, and ugly about this community. There's much more good than ugly. There's a little bit of bad, but it's a lot of good. I don't know why they're doing this. If I had to take a guess, because I'm not part of the process, I'm not part of neither administration, if I would take a guess, it's just who wants to be the bigger person. Bigger person meaning big in size, but not the bigger person in stature and respect.
So, Coach, if you had to make a suggestion and tell them focus on this, what would your suggestion be?
Go to your backyard, sit down, fix it, and stop fighting in public. Stop acting like game show hosts in public, because guess what? The kids are watching. You're asking the kids every day to stop the violence, to stop bullying, but that's all we have been doing. We as adults, we as community leaders, just been bullying each other, and that doesn't make any sense. So right now, they're wrong.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate your words. Hopefully, city will hear you, council body will hear you, mayor will hear you, and they go to work on things that really matter for Mt Vernon, and hopefully Mt Vernon will move forward. We will. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
You should disperse that all. So let me explain something right now. Come here, fellas. We have a game later. We have a game. Don't we have a game? Yeah. Don't we have a game? Yeah. Okay, so what it is, it's hot out here right now. I cannot have you running around, being crazy, tiring yourself out.
Dallas, I hear that you are the reason why many kids elevate themselves.
Yeah, I'm not the only reason. I mean, it's a big community in Mt Vernon, but I've spent 32 years. I spent 32 years working with the community. I'm 48 now, so I spent since since I was 18 in high school working with the community. And Mt Vernon Razorbacks is my family. I started playing with the Razorbacks in 1980. So it's a big reason why I'm alive today, and it's a big reason why these kids have something to strive for.
Well, Dallas, you're not the only reason, but you are part of the puzzle that makes kids elevate and give kids options,
right,
to do positive things. Right. Now, going to Memorial Field subject, why are we here? Are we here to support anyone on the political side, or are here to support and get the work going?
We're here for the kids. The kids in this community needs Memorial Field more than we need breath in our mouth. We need Memorial Field, period. That's all we need. I don't care who does it, politically involved, whoever, we need it done. It needs to be done. That's it.
Last question, Dallas. Is Mt Vernon moving forward?
Mt Vernon is definitely moving forward. The mayor has done some great things. What I see, like his plans are great. He's definitely moving forward. He's definitely moving forward.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Lenny, thank you for giving us this interview. Lenny, tell me or tell us what's going on today and why are you here today?
I'm here today to support the Razorbacks and my son being a football player, and we don't have a field to play on. We're looking for Memorial Field is our home. This has been our home for 40 years. This is our 40-year anniversary, and we don't have a field to play on for 10 years. And it's tiresome to play at a middle school that is not a proper field for kids. The kids love to play football, and they're taking that away from us by not building Memorial Field.
Well, Lenny, Memorial Field is being built. They're working on it. Hopefully, the mayor will not have too much friction from the council body and allow him to finish the work that you and hundreds of other parents are seeking, so your kids have a place to come and play. So what do you have to say about to those that are objecting and blocking these from going any faster?
You are stopping the kids. It's not about the mayor. It's not about your personal beliefs. you are hurting the kids from playing football on Memorial Field. That is a home and an outlet for these kids to play on. And it's not just for the football team. This is for kids throughout Mount Vernon.
In
around Mount Vernon. So, you know, if we can get the field back, it'll help us help more kids in the community and outside the community.
Now, Lenny, do you allow your son to say a couple words?
Yes, I do.
Young man, tell us how you feel about it. Are you ready to come to Memorial Field and play football?
Yes.
When are you looking to do this? Next week or as soon as possible?
As soon as possible.
You guys heard it. From a dad, from his child, they're ready. So stop using Memorial Field as a token of a political engagement and battle and get it working for the people of Mt Vernon. They need this field going. They need this field last year. But since we cannot do nothing about last year, let's remove the block and get it done now. Do we agree on that?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Jacob.
Thank you.
Here in Mt Vernon, and I have lived here for 25 years. And one of the things we see is that Mt Vernon has been on the back burner. And what the mayor is doing is actually trying to rebuild our infrastructure. Memorial Field happened to be one of our great infrastructure that needs to be revitalized. We're not telling folks that we don't want the tennis bubble, but the tennis bubble and Memorial Field is like a marriage. You got to have the husband and the wife. So my thing is, if I am in a luxury hotel and there are folks next door throwing mess in front of our property, we're going to have a problem with that. So what we're saying to our citizens in Mt Vernon is that we must come together to unite. I'm not here about politics. I'm not a politician. All I know is the Bible. And what the Bible says is that when evil prevails and good men do nothing, then it will continue to do the same thing. So what we're saying to our citizens in Mt Vernon is that let's come together and let us rebuild Memorial Field, let us rebuild our infrastructure, and let us stop with the politics and the blaming and the name calling. I believe in what the mayor is doing. I believe that he is trying to do good in Mt Vernon, but there are some people who are trying to block the progress of the city of Mt Vernon. And so what we're saying, ladies and gentlemen, is that our city has been on the back burner for many, many, many years. And so it's time for us to have Mt Vernon rise from the ashes and get back to its glory days. So we're telling everyone, and I want to send a very clear message that Mt Vernon's young people, you can see them, they're here. And I've heard stories where folks have even called my radio program and tell me where Mt Vernon kids were not able to play on the tennis in the tennis bubble, and I was told that they were playing there. But I just want us to know that we're going to do what we have to do to make sure Memorial Field become a destination again for Mt Vernon. And all I know is this, is that we have to stop the blaming of who is not doing what. We're here to come together collectively to rebuild the city of Mt Vernon. It doesn't take the mayor alone, it takes all of us as citizens to get behind the mayor and start to make Mt Vernon the center where folks can come and have a great time again. And we're not here to obstruct anything about the bubble, because the tennis bubble is just a tennis bubble. The field has been dormant for years, and no one talks about that.
10 years.
But the moment the tennis bubble came down, everyone wants to have a problem. So something is wrong with that, ladies and gentlemen. Something is wrong with that. And I just cannot stand aside as a citizen, as a member of the clergy, to see, evil prevails and do nothing about it. So it doesn't matter who wants to join in with helping the mayor, but all I know is that God is on our side. And at the end of the day, prayer will prevail. And so what the mayor is planning to do, ladies and gentlemen, is to rebuild Memorial Field and the tennis bubble. And one of the things I also want to add to that is that if someone lives in your home and don't pay rent, I'm sure you're going to take them to court and have the marshal evict them. So we're not evicting anyone. We're just saying, listen, we're going to have to rebuild our infrastructure, and Memorial Field is a part of the fabric of Mount Vernon. So we're sending a clear message to let folks know that we as a city of Mount Vernon will no longer tolerate this mess and the obstruction is of having Memorial Field come back to its glory day. Thank you so much. We have another speaker, all right? What's your name, my brother?
No, I'm not a speaker. On behalf of the Bivens family, we just like everybody for all the love they show Breezy. You know, she truly will be missed. And this is her mom, Lillian Bivens.
All right, Miss
Bivens.
Bivens.
You say something? Okay. We appreciate y'all, though. Thanks for everything. You know what I mean? And I know if she was here, she would be here. So, you know, rest in peace, little sis.
Coach. No? All right. Well, anyone else want to, you know, come on, Coach. Just say what you have to say.
Breezy would be here. If she was here, she would be here. So we're not being used for sensationalism. We are honoring one of our queens. I needed to say that. And also, it's time that this gets fixed. This has been 10 years. My grandson needs to play at Memorial Field. We have to go across town to Rebecca Turner to a field that doesn't have bathrooms. We'll be in porta potty, a small field with no lines, no goalposts, nothing, and play football when we could be here. I grew up here, I graduated here, I watched Michael Jackson here. We need to fix this field. Let's fix it. Let's fix it.
Come on, let's fix Memorial Field, amen? And you know, one of the things, you know, I'm an advocate for young people because I love, you look at all these young people here. I mean, I hear stories where folks will say, you know, there's nothing to do in Mount Vernon. It's like our city is dead. You know, we have got to, you know, change the narrative because, you know, and, you know, to the news media, we love you, but sometimes we shed a bad light on Mount Vernon. We don't show up when the good things are happening, but sometimes we put out bad press. You know, I grew up here. You know, Heavy D is a good friend of mine. I'm Jamaican, and there's a lot of Jamaicans in Mount Vernon, and we're all immigrants, all right? So what I'm saying is that it's time for us to fix Memorial Field. This field can bring in a lot of revenue for the city of Mount Vernon. So why wouldn't we want to do that? Why wouldn't we want to see something good come out of Mount Vernon? I mean, it was all right, and then it got broken. So let's fix it. And so people are saying that the city was being cleaned up, but this mayor inherited a bad budget and a bad city, and he's trying to clean it up. Also, we want to talk about our bridges also that has been closed. I watched this mayor has the MTA pledge $60 million to have our bridges rebuilt, and they were closed for 20 years. It's amazing. And so this young man is doing what he has to do, and as long as he's doing what is right, I'm going to support him because he loves young people. He loves the city of Mount Vernon. He grew up here. His family is from Mount Vernon. There are a lot of folks who don't live in Mount Vernon because they're privileged. They think that, well, we can come and do what we want. No, that's not how it works. The citizens are the ones who are going to change the narrative. All right?
It's for these kids. City Hall, City Council, Mayor Thomas, the county, whoever, whatever, whoever. We need to make this our home again.
Yes, sir. Let's fix it.
I grew up in Mt Vernon. I've lived in Mt Vernon. I have not left Mt Vernon. I've been here all my life. I graduated out here. Michael Jackson, Black Evil Knievel,
Come on now.
The Circus, Mean Good Joe Green commercial, African Family Day.
Reggae Festival.
Jamaican guy used to beat his drum in the top of the stands. The guy used to fly his flag way up there. The elderly ladies that used to walk the track early in the mornings. We need that back. We need to make Memorial Field our home again. No, all this name calling. I'm not in that. I'm not into that. Listen, I'm not no political person. I'm gonna keep it real.
That's right.
I'm not. I'm for these kids. Yeah. I've been coaching in the Razorbacks. This is the Razorbacks 40th year anniversary. Yeah. Do you hear what I'm saying? A lot of y'all don't know that though. Y'all clapping, okay, but the Razorbacks been in Mt Vernon for 40 years. I've been part of that for 20 some odd years as a coach. I used to live up under them stairs in my equipment room. I used to open this gate up for these elderly women in the morning so they could walk. I know what Memorial Field did to Mount Vernon. Y'all might not think about it. We've been out of Memorial Field, the Razorbacks, since 2010. 2009. They told me I'll be back in 2 years. It's 2018 right now.
That's right, sir. Come on.
2018. I think that's sad. No matter what. When Memorial Field went down, Mount Vernon went down.
That's right, sir.
Believe it or not. Think about it. When everybody wasn't able to come out here, because no matter where you was at, no matter what was going on down here, everybody was down here. The parents knew that you was down here. They didn't care because they knew somebody else's parent was down here. It was safe. There was no shootings out here, not I recall. There was no stabbings out here, not that I recall. So you can't say it was a bad place. I've seen a lot of positive dudes, young men, young women, cheerleaders, football players, baseball, soccer, all of that. Listen, I'm not condoning that dome. Listen, I don't know how to play tennis.
Me neither.
But I'm going to keep it real.
I know how to run.
I'm going to keep it real, though. But when it was open, they didn't let us use the bathroom.
That's right. Yeah, and water.
They would not let us go over there and get water. I mean, listen, I'm just going to keep it real.
Keep it real, Mac.
They got a field over there that we cannot even go over there and use it. But they had the audacity to come over here and talk about the dome because the dome went down. But that, to me, I'm not talking about the dome. I'm talking about these kids right here. I don't even think do any of y'all play tennis? But I'm just saying, did nobody talk about that? We've been out since 2010. Nobody went to the city council and was like, well, why Memorial Field's not up for the Razorbacks or football? Did none of them, nobody. And you know, the sad thing about it was outsiders up there talking about it. It wasn't people that lived in Mount Vernon. You got a lot of people that don't even live in Mount Vernon make a decision. They sit in the chairs, and when they leave Mount Vernon, they go across the bridge.
Come on, man.
I've been here since
Speak truth to power.
their fields where they could call their home.
Speak truth
The
to power,
Razorbacks needs to have a home.
Their field.
Now listen, it ain't even all about the Razorbacks. Oh, listen, I got my man right here next to me. He's going to speak. It's for the kids.
Yeah.
It's for the kids.
They're right here. The future of Mount Vernon.
It's for the kids. My son, he played out here. My daughter cheerleaded out. My grandson don't have a clue. My grandson don't have a clue about Memorial Field. He don't have a clue. He's not in Mount Vernon for us, for these people in Mount Vernon. Now, Best Buy and Target can make more money. Why you think New York Pizza left? Because now they know how the people's going up and down the hill.
Vice President, just like Coach said, we got to fix this. Right now, I'm fighting with the school board, trying to get fields to practice on, free events for the kids, father and son flag game. We both share Brush Park and Long.
Hi, my name is Carrie Ann. I am a resident of Mount Vernon. I don't know, some people may have seen the video as some people may not have. Where I posted on Facebook that I took a bunch of kids from a track team that I run to Glover Field, and a phone call was made. A gentleman came over and told us we have to leave. We're not allowed on Glover Field. And if we did not leave immediately, he was in the process of calling the police. Security came and we were escorted out of Glover Field. Glover Field is right across the street. It's still in Mount Vernon, and nobody in Mount Vernon can use Glover Field. We're not allowed, as they say. These kids should be allowed to go anywhere, anytime, and use any facility in Mount Vernon. It's totally unfair to our kids. It's not a political situation. I know nothing about politics. I could care less about politics. It's about our kids. My daughter used to run on this track with Deja Stevens.
Yes, sir. Come on. Yes.
Right. Now, these kids have nowhere. They have to travel. Right now, my kids have to go all the way to Yonkers. And we have a certain time frame that we are allowed there. It's not fair to Mount Vernon. It's not fair to our kids. And this needs to stop, and stop now.
Straight. We were a part of the tennis. But we were a part of the tennis before this raw deal was made with Keller Tennis. We were a part of tennis when the city was running the tennis center. And back then, we did have young Mount Vernon kids playing tennis because it was affordable. Now it's not affordable, and the kids that we know from Mount Vernon aren't playing there anymore, and when they've tried to play there, they just came out with a really big bill. So it isn't that we had an issue, the original tennis folks, we love the fact that we had Razorbacks there, and when this was all going down, when Clinton Young was about to tear this down and the plans weren't really clear, we were saying the same thing. The community uses it because as we're playing tennis, everybody, no matter what time we were out there, people were walking out. This is predominantly a black community where we have issues with health and mental health, and everybody was out here getting their exercise, whether they were going up the stairs or walking around the tracks, and we were all playing tennis here. Kids got scholarships. Not only that, here's Lennox Dressler, he's from Mount Vernon. He's running the tennis center for the longest time. The kids would learn how to play tennis, then they would grow up, and as teenagers they would learn, then they would teach the younger ones that were coming up, so they had summer jobs here. That's the kind of facility that we ran, and not only did it help people from Mount Vernon, but I'm going to be frank here, it helped.